Man, you know I had to start with some Bitcoin. I never really covered it. To be honest, I don't own any, but I think I have a plan how to start getting some Bitcoin. And I think this is what I want to do in order to kind of keep growing, kind of some different plays. And I've always wanted to own some. I just figured, you know what, I'll get around to it. But I think with everything happening in the market and, this thing may be going down to like 15 or 12 or whatever it might be. I don't know, I think I just have I'm just gonna start taking some of these profits out of these protocols at some point that I'm in, and gonna start trying to DCA into some Bitcoin. So anyway, just some ideas of maybe taking out some money from other investments, and that's what you typically do, and that's what I typically do. I took stuff from my diamond team, take from Drip once in a while, take some from, and I will be taking from Avarice, and Stake. But the idea is that I want to grow some different parts of my portfolio that I've never really worked on besides just doing all these DeFi plays. So I do hold just coins, like, random coins, but in general, I don't have any Bitcoin or Ethereum. But anyway, just food for thought. If you're thinking about it, might be a good time to start looking at it. Anyway, all right, so in this video, what I want to do is kind of just go through everything I got going on. I have so much stuff going on. There's a lot of updates everywhere, and I don't want to make this a 20-minute video, so I'm going to make this pretty fast. This is in no way, shape, or order of like my preferences, something I'm super excited about. It was just everything I go through in the morning. So Stake, if you saw Stake, it did drop to 8, which is awesome. If you got in, I actually wasn't paying attention to it, and there was a couple of big sells, which is fine, right? You want to see that, you want to see people take profits, but at the same time, you want to see a recovery. And this thing is trying to get over 14, which seems to be kind of obviously the next biggest milestone. But if you're not into Stake, it might be a good time, not financial advice, or wait for another dip. I mean, there might be another dip that comes back by the 8 or 9. I would assume if it was able to drop that far, I'm assuming who's ever taking those profits, I'm assuming it's not a one-time thing. So remember, not financial advice, but if you're interested, my referral link is in the description. I did have someone join my team. If you did join my team, please let me know who you are. Because I'm having trouble trying to figure this out, to be honest. I don't know who this is, and I can't airdrop if I don't know who you are. Anyway, all right, real quick, Drip. If you've been watching Drip, it's been coming back up again from like it got as low as 9. I think like I didn't buy. I'm not buying more. I'm just not. So. I still feel it's, I never got to 8. So it did get to 9, which is pretty low, right? So it's good. It bounced, and it's kind of just I think it's going to stay between 10 to 12, to be honest, for a while. And that's because, I'll be honest, I mean, it's on Forex standard time, right? I'll probably leave it at that. I'm not trying to bash. I love it. I love the protocol, love everything about it, but he is definitely not the most expeditious or person that will be on time for anything. It's crazy to me, but it's such a huge following, such a huge ecosystem, and I get it. He has a ton of stuff, hired a ton of people, but you just don't see updates, right? You do see updates and you don't, and then it just seems like everything just always keeps pushing out, right? I mean, I don't know. I'll leave it at that because I'm a Drip fan, so don't bash me in the comments, but. I think it's crazy to me how it just continues, and he just has so much on his plate, and I'm hoping that PM really helps him out. All right. Anyway, we talked about Stake already, Avarice. So I will start seeing dibs today. I would assume because it's 48 hours. So I'm learning more as I go here. So you got to remember, you're not going to see dibs until 48 hours. So today would be 2 days after I bought here. And I'm sorry if that's Coco Melon in the back. Of course, my kid's in my room. Never fails, right? It is what it is. It's summer break. So I will start seeing actual dibs on, this is actually that big one, right? So this is about 75 BNB, I think, roughly speaking. These are about 1 BNB, and these are out 100, 200, and 300 days. Remember, you always do the N minus the start because it's confusing, right? So this is 300 days from the 11th day. Hopefully that's super clear. I did put another stake in yesterday for 2 BNB. I'm just going to do a BNB, 5 BNB, 10 BNB, whatever I have that I pull from other stuff and I take profits. I'm going to put in Avarice and kind of see how it happens and see how it works. My deal with Avarice at the end of the day is I'm going to take a lot of these profits, and hopefully they're profits, right? I obviously haven't seen any divs yet until today. I'm really curious what this 75 BNB is going to be here, or 80 BNB. And I'm going to start actually DCing into Bitcoin. I think that's kind of my plan here. So just get a more stable ground and a portfolio that's kind of spread out more than just DeFi stuff. Good time to buy, right? Not financial advice. All right, another thing that's got going on, I know a lot of people are asking me what's going on with Lockpay. I do have some people still in the Lockpay, and if you're not into Lockpay, you know, obviously I got into it, I threw like 5-7 grand into it, and I don't know why I'm losing my train of thought here, because I'm trying to move really fast, because I want you guys to get a great update, and I don't want it to be too long. So real quick on Lockpay, the V2 is coming out, sorry, it's at the top. The V2 is coming out. There was an AMA this morning, so if you're interested, go check out the AMA on their Telegram. They are going to release V2 on the 17th, so this Thursday. There's a lot of updates, new white paper, so definitely check out Lockpay. I'm not saying to get into it, but hey man, they made a lot of changes. So obviously I never sold, so I have roughly about 700,000 or 800,000 tokens right now. I kept rebasing, so hopefully, you know, this ends up being just a nice huge green candle again. Remember, 44 times on V1. So they fix things, and this guy has, people like him, right? People like, I don't know, just the way he is, I guess. He's a good salesman, right? So take it for what it's worth. All right, so that's a quick update on Lockpay. Lucky 7, right? So yeah, a lot of shit going on with Lucky 7. I mean, I was up as much as 5 times, and now I'm still up though, because I got in a pre-sale, in public pre-sale. So I'm still actually up 1.5 times, right? But the crazy thing about this is that, or one, yeah, maybe 1.5, a little under 1.5 times. So there's a ton of people that just kept selling, right? And with this market we're in, and you know, I think they need a stronger, maybe a stronger team. So they did hire someone on the team to kind of help with this. And there's a live AMA tomorrow at noon. I know, if we just check the time, check on Discord, check on Telegram. But if you're interested in 777, it did drop a ton. So not financial advice, might be a good time to get in, but it is a bear market. Just, yeah, there's just so much shit going on right now. But they're doing an AMA tomorrow to fix a lot of things that were hindering to them in terms of just constant sells, right? And not enough buys. It's pretty much what it is, and it's just constant. There's nothing that the protocol did to deter any of this stuff, right? Less rebases, you know, for an individual if you sold more. I mean, just different things. So definitely check out 777. It could be a good time to buy. Remember, when it says red, it's kind of the opposite, right? You're trying to think in general buying as opposed to selling, right? I know it's hard because everything is red, but you know, if you do have capital on the side, liquid on the side, or maybe one investment not as bad as another, and you can get a better position, it's actually the best time, right? Is when it's red. It's just so hard to see it all red. I mean, just, you know, not financial advice. I'll keep saying that, right? This is just the way I look at it. All right, so we talked about 777. I think that's pretty much the last one I want to talk about in terms of stuff I'm already into. All right, something new I'm going to get into. So this is one thing about these new protocols that come out. You got to find the ones that, you know, are changing the game a bit. And I thought Stake changed the game from Drip, right? Drip is Drip, right? But Stake, and has a huge following, so I think Drip will always be around. Stake, I think, built on Drip and did it in a way that it came with the idea of all the issues that Drip, I guess, has from being the first code to come out, right? So people build on it and make things better, right? That's what we do. I'm not saying it's better than Drip. I'm just saying it has things in place that Drip doesn't have. But Drip has a huge community, amazing dev. If it just was more in time, I'll be honest. But in terms of Stake, it really built on things that Drip had a problem with in terms of the whales selling off and stuff like that, and the rebasing to give you 3% as opposed to 1%. But you know, you can't just take out all the time because you get hit on this nerd thing that they have. So anyway, I just think it's a great protocol, and I kind of digress a little bit, but here's my point. OOZE, whatever, and that's OOZE, I guess. They're basically they're making this more of an 80s feel. Obviously, if you're like in the, you know, NES 64-bit stuff, this is actually pretty cool. But the easiest way to take this, and don't get confused, this kind of reminds me of Avarice, so it's just so freaking confusing. But there's more videos about OOZE and stuff like that out there. But basically, they're adding NFTs to a space where you still get the 1%. You can play this as a drip or stake. It's probably the easiest way to put it. When you start building your teams, your team is an NFT, essentially. And your NFT is basically your downlines, everything that you have in it, or maybe it's just your stake. So maybe I decide to stake $1,000, right, into, say, there's two different ways. You can be leader of slime. So basically what that means is that you have a team, you want to run a team, right? You want to control everything about your team. You know, how much percentage referral based, you want to do everything about your team. And there's biopunk. Biopunk means that you are basically giving it to OOZE Finance to determine, they do everything. It's kind of like an it's like kind of like an auto staking or auto rebase. I'm sorry, I'm not saying that right. What I'm trying to tell you is it's set and forget it. It's probably the best way to put it. So biopunk is set and forget it, and slime is basically you're running your team. At the end of the day, either one of these, slime or biopunk, is actually pretty cool. These are NFTs, right? So you sell your whole stake plus your team. Everything kind of goes with it. And if you're in it, say you're a huge YouTuber, like I am, for example, right? Where I'm going to have like 1,000 people on my team of slime. I can sell that 1,000 people team of slime plus my stake. Say I stake at $10,000 worth of OOZE in there. I sell the whole thing to somebody and it's an NFT. It's pretty cool. So there's a marketplace for you to sell NFTs, right? And they will have theirs as well. Biopunk is something similar in the sense that it's kind of send and forget it. So you don't have a team. You just say, I'm going to put $10,000 in, $1,000 in, whatever, and I'm just going to let them run with it. And I'm pretty sure they take a % of whatever you make. So you just there's all these parameters you would set. So think about your teams, right? So in this example, I'm going to talk about slime because I'm going to start a slime team, right? I think that's maybe the way you put it. In the slime team, you can earn up to 2% a day. And these earnings, right, they actually can help you build your team. So think about if you were into gaming, like say Final Fantasy and things like that, and you earn XP, right, experience points. You can add them to your team and build strength, build endurance, whatever. There's like 3 categories, right? So you want to definitely read the white paper. Is it on here? I don't think it is. Sorry if I'm getting you guys. It is. There's different ways of actually getting. It's called XP. Yeah, it is XP. Sorry, guys. No, I'm not done yet, but almost done, buddy. Sorry, that's my son. So if you're gating, you can actually take this XP and grow your team, right? You can grow different aspects of your team. You can grow it from an endurance perspective. You can grow it from here, spending XP for strength, speed, and stealth. Okay, so I'm going to stop there because you're like, what the is going on right now with OOZE Finance? The simplest way you can do this as simple as you want, and you just want to get the 1% or 2% a day. I think it's 2%. No, it's 1% in the faucet, I think, and then there is 2%. Yeah. So it's 1% daily on your investment. So say you put $1,000, then you get 1% a day, right? Just like drip. The daily 1% can be compounded, blah, 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 365, same thing. But you can also play it a little differently, right? You can set this and you can actually make additional money, right? Additional, I think it's additional 2% on your actual earnings. So hold on. I could have that wrong. So you can make 1% times 365. So that's just like drip. And then you could, choose to join either or slime or biopunk. Like I said, you could choose different types of teams, right? And then you can actually, the XP to build your team. I think it goes up to 2%. So please correct me in the comments. Obviously, the reason why I'm trying to get this out there is because this releases on June 21st. And if you are interested in getting into OOZE Finance, It's going to launch. There was a pre-sale, 2 pre-sales, and they were at, I think, under $1. And for the launch, it's going to be $1.26. I think is, yeah, $1.26. Launch price is around $1.26. The pre-sale, so you can see me asking questions here. I'm asking if anyone wants to sell for $1.27. Anyway, I think the pre-sale was under $1. I think it was like 95 cents or $1.10 or something like that. It was definitely under $1.26. But it is something that I'm always considering, because these pre-sales, like for example, if you got into steak, steak I think pre-sold at like 95 cents. Look at it now, 13.5 times, right? So I'm not saying that I'm going to go in here and dump a ton of money, but having a small stake, no pun intended, into OOZE and all these new ones coming out, if I find like they have something totally different in them, it might be a good call, just because you can just hold it, right? You don't necessarily have to deposit. You can always just sell it. Obviously, there's taxes. You got to look at that. But I don't know. This is something you might be interested in getting into. It's June 21st, so you got a week from now to get into it. It's on FTM, so it's on Phantom. You're going to need USDC to buy. All right, so sorry guys, this was a 16, 17 minute video. I just want to go through everything I had going on today. Any questions, please hit me up in the comments. If you like this, hit that sub. If you don't like it, hit that thumbs down twice. Everyone have a good rest of your day. Please, if you're interested in using any referral links, they're in the description. Please always know what you're clicking. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.